So this lady, that is my mother, telling the story to that guy, and my father is also helping my mother to relate the story. Hi there, I'm Suranga from Englishman. Today we are in total immersion. I'm going to tell you a story taken from a textbook, English textbook used in schools. In 1970s and 1960s, first edition is of 1968 and the last print that probably 1973. So, a very nice story. Those days in textbooks, that was not basically the communicative approach, but stories were really beautiful. Yeah, a visit to China, you can see a picture, very nice picture of a car, a black car, probably the Morris Minor or something. Yeah, Opel or whatever. Say, a visit to China. This goes around a family going to Trincomalee. Yeah. Last month, that was last month, not this month, last month, probably March. We just think so. Last month, I was traveling with my parents and my brother from Colombo to Trincomalee when something went wrong with our car. Last month, I was going with my parents, my father and mother, and my brother from Colombo to Trincomalee, Colombo to Trincomalee. Yeah. Colombo to Trincomalee. Yeah, Colombo to Trincomalee. Good. When something went wrong with our car, something go wrong, present tense, something go wrong. What is going wrong? If something goes wrong, something happens that you have never expected, that's something bad. For example, if a car develops a fault when you're driving, you can hear a sound or some latapat sound, and then it develops a fault, the car, and then it goes wrong. If you try to do something and it does not happen as you wish, it goes wrong. Yeah, that is it. Last month, I was traveling with my parents and my brother from Colombo to Trincomalee when something went wrong with our car. Car developed a fault, something bad. Yeah. So he was going in a car. So we just think it is a red car. Yeah. Red car was going. That was myself. You think that it's a girl? Yeah. My brother, yeah, brother should be there, this guy, and mother and father. The father must be driving the car, and mother should be there in the car. Yeah, we were enjoying the journey. When something went wrong with our car, sometime after passing through Habarana, they were passing through Habarna. Habarna is near Kurnagal somewhere. Habarna. Passing through Habarna. Why don't say that passing Habarna? Passing through Habarna. Pass through is basically if you feel your surrounding is 3D, three-dimensional, lot of things around. You say you go through, you pass through the book. If you send your finger through the book, that is, the finger should come from this side. I cannot send my finger through this. Through is if you use through, going through, sending through, passing through, there should be a surrounding, 3D surrounding. So when you think about the forest, you can say, I walk through a forest. Why do you say that I walk through a forest? Because around you, you are surrounded by different things. Through a street. Why through a street? Because there are good number of buildings around you. That's it. Yeah, okay. Shall we? When something went wrong with our car sometime after passing through Habarna. Yeah. Where did it happen? When they were passing through Habarna. Yeah. So one thing that you know is when you are going from Colombo to Trincomalee, you pass Habarna. Yeah. I don't know what happens. There are a good number of roads newly built. Yeah. Sometime after passing through Habarna, we heard a knocking in the engine and suddenly the car stopped. We heard a knocking. We heard a knocking. Knock, 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 knock. Knocking. You understand what knocking is? You're knocking her sometime after, yeah. And we had a knocking in the engine. Engine had a sort of a fault developed. It was, a sound is just like somebody knocks something against the engine. Yeah. Inside the engine, there should be a sort of sound like jakadakas, bakabakas, or something like that. So what is important is not the story based. Story is important really. What is important is my production of language. Do you understand what I say? My production, my making new language, not the language in the book. Anybody can read this book. You know, right? You don't want to master the skill to read the book, but to produce the language, you should be able to speak. That's it. That's the difference. So therefore, always you should try to listen to, watch programs where people produce the language production. That is it. Then your spoken language, your spoken ability would develop to a good level. Yeah, okay, shall we go? Knocking in the engine and suddenly the car stopped. How sad. Oh, it was a lonely spot. Lonely spot. Why do they say lonely spot? Lonely is nobody's there around the car. When it stopped, nobody was there. It was a lonely spot and the sun was setting. Sun was setting. Oh, sun was setting. What was happening? Sun was setting. Why was sun was setting? Yeah, the color is not good. Yeah, sun was setting. Rising and setting. You know what setting is. Sun was setting. Sun. Sun was setting. Going down. Sun was setting. Sun was setting. When sun was setting, what happens is you can see different colors, right, in the sky. Yellow and sort of colors, magenta and sort of colors, but generally darker. So when sun setting, you can see beautiful colors in the sky. Okay, what happens? What shall we do? Asked my mother. What shall we do? Asked my mother. So mother was really upset, quite upset. And she asks, mother asks, what shall we do? My mother asks, what shall we do? My mother asks, what shall we do? What can we do now? Car stopped and we are stranded. We are stranded. Do you know the word stranded? Stranded is nobody is there. We are helpless, basically, stranded. What shall we do? Asked my mother. Let's wait here. Who says, father? Let's wait here. A car or lorry will pass this way soon, said my father. Mother says, what shall we do? Frightened. What shall we do? Asked my mother. Father said, let's wait. Let's wait here. We don't want to do anything. Just we can be here. Let's wait here. A car or lorry will pass this way soon. This way. That means this road. There is a road here. This is the road. This is the road. Father thinks. Where is the father? Sorry. Father thinks. Father, intelligent guy. And father thinks, don't worry. Don't worry. A lorry or a car will pass this way soon, within a very short period of time. You don't want to, soon. Soon means not tomorrow, not day after tomorrow, not after a few hours. Soon, within very short period of time, maybe within half an hour, a car will appear, a lorry will appear on the road. So we can get some helping hand from them. Yeah. Let's wait here. A car or lorry will pass this way soon, said my father to mother, and we were there. Myself and my brother are there. Oh, we are a family, 4 members. But nothing came, and it was getting dark. But nothing came, and it was getting dark. Whoa, nothing came, it was getting dark. You understand what getting dark? Yeah. But nothing came, and it was getting dark. It will be night soon, and we can't stay here. It will be night soon. Night is falling. Night is coming. It will be night soon. You know what, day and night? You understand? It will be night soon, and we can't stay here. We can't stay here. We can't be here on the road. Probably that is near a jungle, near a forest, inside the forest. Habarna, if you have passed through Habarna, you know that Habarna is a place where you find a lot of trees and forests and things like that. Yeah, that is the thing. It will be night soon, and we can't stay here. Listen. Who says? Mother says. Mother says something. Mother says, listen. Mother says, listen. Listen. I can hear things moving in the jungle. Oh, there should be jungle near here. So that is jungle, a forest. Yeah. So jungle, big jungle, big jungle, big jungle. So listen, I can hear something moving inside the jungle. Listen, I can hear things moving in the jungle. Said my mother. Mother can hear things perfectly, but father cannot hear things that much. Yeah, that is the thing. Oh, father must have been thinking about something else. He is thinking about a lorry, or he is thinking about a car approaching from this side or that side. Okay. Just then we saw an old man coming out of the jungle. An old man coming out of the jungle. An old man appeared through the jungle. An old man came through the jungle. Jungle. Jungle should be everywhere. There should be green patches, jungle. An old man came through the jungle. Why do they say that? He came through the jungle. Out of the jungle. That's okay, no problem, right? Said my mother, just then we saw an old man coming out of the jungle. Coming out of. If out of, we use out of when we say something come from a 3D space. So you can say he came out of the room. Room was a 3D space and came out of water, maybe. Fish out of water. A fish out of water. Why out of water? He was in a 3D space first, surrounded by something, and he came out of. So that is the place where we use out of. We will learn all these things when we learn prepositions. Okay, don't worry. Just then we saw an old man coming out of the jungle. We told him our problem. Yeah, then what happened? Yeah. What happened was this. We told him our problem, and an old man came. An old man came. This is his sarong, so of a green color sarong is wearing. Okay. Oh, the yene. Oh. So this lady, that is my mother, telling the story to that guy, and my father is also helping my mother to relate the story. We are everywhere. This guy, my brother, and myself. Um, we are telling him the story, what happened, and car was there. Yeah. Say. He wanted to help us. He wanted to help us. He would say, oh, I can help you. He must have said, I can help you. This guy, a good guy. Very good guy. Very good guy. Very good guy. He must have said, friends, I can help you if you want. Yeah. Shall I help you? I can help you. I can give a helping hand at this juncture. Something like that. He must have said. We have no idea what he said. So we can make conversations using the story if you want, right? So if you say that, if you comment saying that you like to listen to the conversation going in the story, then we can make conversations. And so what they're talking about, okay, shall we go to the story? If you do a comment, I'll do that. He wanted to help us. Staying here is dangerous, he says. Staying here is dangerous. Being here on the road is dangerous at night. Staying here is dangerous because there are wild animals about. Wild animals about. About is around. Around. Another way that you can express around, that is about. About is around. Staying here is dangerous because there are wild animals about. Wild animals. Yeah. Wild animals. Good number of wild animals. Maybe Kalukotia. Wild animals. Dangerous wild animals. Yeah. And can be of elephants. Oh, really dangerous. Maybe some snakes. And yeah, wild boar. Oh, very dangerous. If you are attacked by wild boar, it is really, really dangerous thing than probably you are attacked by a serpent. That is, you cannot escape from the wild boar. Wild boar is wild boar. Yeah. Staying here is dangerous because there are wild animals about. Let's go to my chena. Let's go to my chena. Chena is hena. You'll be quite safe there. You will be quite safe there. Who says? The old man says. The old man says. You will be, not to these animals, you will be quite safe there. Safe means no harm done. Nothing can harm you. You are well protected. Yeah, you are safe there. He said, we pushed the car to the side. Yeah. So now, this is the road. This is the road. So car must have been on the road. That was really bad because vehicles, this is the car, right? This is the car. The car was on the road. And then what they did was they somehow managed to. What happens is the car is on the road first. And they say that they pushed the car to the side. They pushed the car to the side so that people can move or the vehicles can move. Yeah, that's it. We pushed the car to the side of the road and started walking. Walking through the jungle was tiring. They were walking through the jungle now. You know what jungle is? Jungle is a forest. Thick jungle, forest. Yeah, jungle. They were walking through the forest. Probably the old man, the guy, is leading and the others are following. Yeah. Of the road and started walking. Walking through the jungle was tiring, very tired. Tiring is very tired. You feel tired. When you feel tired, you would say, this work is very tiring. This work is tiring. If you do something and you find that it is really difficult and if you feel tired, you would say, this work is tiring. Yeah, tiring. Walking through the jungle was tiring, but we followed him silently. We followed him silently in the forest. If you make a sound, noise or whatever, and the wild animals would come to see what happens, then they will attack you. Therefore, it's wise enough to be silent when walking through a forest. Not here, anywhere. If you are walking through a forest, you have to be very silent. One thing that you can, if you're sightseeing, if you want to see what's happening inside the forest, if you make sounds of the animals, the birds and other animals that you want to watch, activities would fly, would go away, and you cannot see the things. And on the other hand, dangerous animals with no fear, they would approach you, they would come to you. So therefore, it's really interesting. When learning stories, we can learn all these things. Of the road and started walking. Walking through the jungle was tiring, but we followed him silently until we came to an open space. We came to an open space. Yeah, they say that we came to an open space, sort of a space that is open basically. And we came to an open space. Open space. This space is open. It's an open space, a ground, something like that. Not a ground, open space. Why do they say open? Because no trees, a lot of trees. If you are going through a forest, everywhere you are surrounded by the jungle, the massive trees, gigantic trees, big trees. But if you pass the jungle and if you find something, there are no trees, then that is an open area. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So, walking through the jungle was tiring, but we followed him silently until we came to an open space with a fence. Open space with a fence. Fence. What is a fence? Fence is, you know what fence is? Fence. Around lands, people make fences using different things. We use barbed wire. Barbed wire, katukambi, barbed wire. And those days, they use in chain cultivation, they use sort of materials taken from trees. That is what they say. That is why they say this here. Walking through the jungle was tiring, but we followed him silently until we came to an open space with a fence made of charred wood around it. Charred wood. Burnt wood. Charcoal. Coal and charcoal. Charcoal is, if you burn firewood, the grayish, the blackish residue, blackish thing that you finally find is, after burning things, that is charcoal. If you burn a piece of wood, you find charcoal finally. Black color, material, matter. You know what I mean? Charcoal. Not coal, charcoal. Why charred? Charred means burnt. Charcoal is burnt wood. Charred means burned, the black in color. Why that black in color? Probably because they set fire to this land before China cultivation to remove what is in this field, and then the ash collected, and ash gives the nutrients back to the land. The trees and plants do have lot of nutrients, food for plants. So then when we burn all these things inside this area, so it comes back to the soil, and from the soil the crop, the field can, what we grow, the plants that we grow can absorb nutrients, the food again. Yeah, that is. So in that exercise, in that act, because of the fire, lot of fire thing, fire. Due to fire, the what do we call, the structure made is burnt. That is the reason why you can see the fences of black in color. This is, silently, open space with a fence made of charred wood. So fence is this one. So fence is this one. This one is the fence. The fence is black in color. Fence made of charred wood around it. Pointing to it, the old man said proudly, pointing to that. The old man said proudly, "This is my China." Yeah. The old man should be really proud of himself. The old man should be really proud of himself because he did this. This is his production. This is what he has done. This is the thing that he has been doing for a long period of time. Yeah, this is what he does. So I'm using different tenses for the same thing. Did you understand what I say? This is what he does. මේක තමයි කරන්නේ. This is what he has done. මේක තමයි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. For a long period of time. This is what he has been doing. මේක තමයි කර ඉන්නේ. Different things, that. So one tense is not particularly going to one particular thing, but one tense or different tenses can be used for expressing one idea if you have a very good idea of tenses and things like that. Yeah, that is important. Yeah, but we learn everything without learning tenses and grammar by listening to stories. This is what he has been doing. This is what he has done. This is what he does. I can see. So then you understand the idea. Yeah. Pointing it to the old man said proudly, "This is my China." Following him over the fence into the China. Following him over the fence. Oh, following him over the fence. What is over the fence? Following him over the fence. This is the fence. So over the fence is going over the fence, over, not under, over the fence. So following him over the fence, they followed him and jumped over the fence, going over the fence into the China. It's really interesting. Into China. Why into China? Into China is basically a sort of a 3D area, just like into box, because a lot of things should be there. Tiny plants, crops, or whatever, they should be in that land. Following him over the fence into the China, we saw a fine crop of vegetables. Fine crop of vegetables. Crop. Fine crop of vegetables, that is crop. Plants grown in a massive scale. Just like rice, just like, not rice here, kurahang, meneri, and sort of things. Wheat, things like that. Following him over the fence into the China, we saw a fine crop of vegetables. Fine crop of vegetables and grain growing there, they say so. Fine crop of vegetables. The grown vegetables, crop of vegetables. Crop is basically not one plant, not two plant, not three plant, not 5 or 10 plants, a massive number of plants grown together, we call it a crop. Yeah, crop, crop of tea, things like that. Walking through the jungle, yeah. Following him over the fence into the chain, we saw a fine crop of vegetables and grain following there. Grain is a grain just like Kurahan Mineri grain. Grain is sort of a fruit or the plant even grown on grass like tiny plants. Crop of vegetables and grain growing there. We also saw a hut built in a large tree. There was a large tree here. There was a large tree here. When you think about this part, there is a large tree, a massive tree. In this massive tree, they saw a hut. They saw a hut in the tree. In the tree. Why in the tree? Why not on the tree? In the tree is inside the tree. Around the hut, there are leaves, there are branches and things like that. He has made a hut. We call it palain, basically, hut. We also saw a hut built in a large tree. Hut built in a large tree. Hut is something touched with leafy structures, leafy things. And in a hut, basically everything is of everything taken from plants, trees, the sticks and things like that. And then you find the branches of the tree like this. And then there is a sort of a winding ladder made up of ropes or whatever, so that you can climb onto this. Following him over the fence into the chain, we saw a fine crop of vegetables and grain growing there. We also saw a hut built in a large tree. We climbed up to it with some difficulty. We climbed. These guys. We climbed. We climbed. Climbing, you know what climbing is. We climbed up to it with some difficulty. It was not that easy. With some difficulty, not very difficult, not extremely difficult. That is why they say with some difficulty. We also saw a hut built in a large tree. We climbed up to it with up to. Up to means up and down. You understand? Up and down. Climbed up to. Climbing is ascending, going up. Climbing is going up. Climbing mountains. Climbing Sripada. Climbing up a tree. Climbing a tree. Climb up to it with some difficulty. Some difficulty. The writer, the storyteller, she thinks that it is not that difficult. That is why she says with some difficulty. Maybe it's really difficult, but in her view, she says that it's with some difficulty. We climbed up to it with some difficulty and sat there looking at the land around us. Sat there. Oh yeah. And sat there. So now just think about this is inside the hut. This is inside. You can see everything made of sticks and thatched. There is a roof made with sort of leafy materials, and that is outside. In the floor is made up of wooden material. The floor is also made of wooden material. And what they do is now, these guys, I used a different color, otherwise you cannot see. these guys, this is father, myself on the floor of this chamber, of this room, and my ayah, my brother, may be watching things outside, and my mother must have been there on the ground as she is really tired, probably. Where is that old man? Old man should be somewhere showing them the things in the China. So outside you can see trees and whatever it is. Yeah. So we climbed up to it with some difficulty and sat there looking at the land around us. So when you ascend, when you go up, you can see properly the land around, the area around. So that is really nice experience being there. I have been to a sort of chainas. Really, that was really thrilling. That was really good. We climbed up to it with some difficulty and sat there looking at the land around us. The old man's son was busy adding wood to the fire down below. The old man's son, the old man had a son. He was not there. He was below on the land. He was below on the land, on the ground. You can see the ground below. And you can see some trees around. Now you cannot see that much because it is dark. You can see the forest and the open area where the crop is. So here, that guy, who is that guy? That guy is this old man's son. Old man's son down there on the ground. What is he doing? The old man's son was busy adding wood to the fire down below. Fire. So he was making a fire. Oh, fire. Why fire? Otherwise, wild animals would appear. When you set fire, they naturally don't come because they really are frightened. Fire. He's making a fire down below. The old man's son was busy adding wood to the fire down below, and the old man sat near us, telling us about his life in the China. Telling us about his life in the China. In the China, there are a lot of stories. Must have been. So these are the stories that he is going to tell. He is telling these my family. It was very interesting stories. We have never, this girl, the boy, and these two adults, father and mother, they have never been to a sort of China, I think. And then the stories should be really interesting to listen to this old man. It's from his experience. We have known that experience. He has the experience and he's telling us stories. Yeah, that's really good. We don't live here all the time. He says, we don't live here all the time. The old man says, we don't live here all the time. He said, we come here before the beginning of the rainy season. Before the beginning of the rainy season. Before rain begins. Before rain starts, we come here. Because when the rain comes, we cannot do the work here. China work. So we have to come before the rain comes. Before the rain, yeah. We don't live here all the time. He said, we come here before the beginning of the rainy season. Rainy season, the period, season is period. Then we start cutting down the trees. Start cutting down the trees. After start, you can use inform. Start cutting down the trees. Start going there. Start setting fire. Start things like that. We can say, start doing your homework. You can say, start doing your homework. Stop it the same. Stop doing homework. Things like that. After stop and start, you can use inform. Start doing this, start doing that, stop doing that, and things like that. So here they say, we start cutting down the trees and burning them. When the rain comes, when the rains come, sowing is done. When the rain comes, sowing is done. Sowing seeds. Sowing seeds is, in paddy fields we have in paddy fields we have seen people, the Goimatya, he's sowing seed paddy, that is seeds. He has a sack here, malla, somewhere, so that it contains seed and sowing seeds. This is sowing seeds on the field. That is it. So then burning them. When the rains come, sowing is done. Sowing is done. You understand? And protecting them from wild animals until the harvesting is over. Then we stay here. After sowing, we cannot go here and there. We have to be here. We have to stay. Why? Otherwise, the wild animals will destroy the land and they will eat the seeds. That's what's happening. When the rains come, sowing is done. Then we stay here watching our plants grow. We stay here watching our plants grow. So we can see our plants growing. Because until the plants grow, we are here. We are not going anywhere. Then we stay here watching our plants grow and protecting them from wild animals until the harvesting is over. Harvesting is we taking the crop from these plants, the seeds, collecting seeds. So collecting what we want. Harvesting. Maybe harvesting, the word harvesting is not particularly specially going with plants and even animals. Harvesting fish even. When you catch fish from a particular place, say once a year, once in 6 months, then you would say that is the harvest, fish harvest. Yeah, harvest. From wild animals until the harvesting is over, until we extract, until we collect the seeds or the grain, whatever it is, and then we are here protecting that. There is a herd of deer in the China. You know what deer is? The animal, the deer. This is deer. So he says there is a herd of deer in the chain. A herd is a set of the collection of good number of. There is a herd of deer in the China, he said, and looked around for his son. Where is my son? But his son was not there. He was already running to the far end. Far end is extreme end there, not near end. That is far end. Far end of the chain and chasing the deer away. He's going after, chasing. He's chasing the deer away. Deer running. Deer seem to be running. Deer seem to be running in that direction because he's following he's chasing. He was already running to the far end of the chain and chasing the deer away. The old man started talking again. The old man started talking again. Old man started talking again. And we listened to him until dawn. We listened to him until dawn. What is dawn? We listened to him until dawn. What is dawn? Dawn is a time in the morning before sun rises, before sun appears. There comes light first in the sky. It is really beautiful. Different colors, but you cannot see the light. You can see the sun. That was a bit dark, but that was a bit dark. So you can see the clouds and things in the sky becoming colorful. That is dawn. There is a saying, the darkest hour is nearest dawn. The darkest hour is nearest dawn. The darkest hour is just before the dawn. That is in our lives. Sometimes we find difficult parts, difficult areas in the journey of our lives. So then you have to think that this is the darkest, this is the worst, bad, very bad. And but next we can see the sunlight. The darkest hour is nearest dawn. When we have a very bad times, we should understand after bad time what comes is really a good time. So the darkest hour is nearest dawn. After dawn, the light comes. Yeah, that is interesting. We listened to him until dawn. They had no idea, no trace of time. They had no idea of time. The stories were so interesting that and they were so interested that they had no idea of the track of time. The old man started talking again, and we listened to him until dawn. We were so interested that the word interested, and sort of words. We can learn all these things. Interesting and interested. Sometimes people find it difficult to learn, beginners find it difficult to use interesting and interested. Things are interesting and people are interested. I am interested. It is really interesting. At times people happen to say that I'm interesting about that. Mamanang hari interesting. People say that's wrong. Mamanang hari interesting. Mamanang interested. That is interesting. The drama is really, this picture is really interesting. The picture is really interesting. Not I'm interesting. I'm interested. Boring, bored. Something like that. The old man started talking again, and we listened to him until dawn. We were so interested that no one thought of sleeping. No one wanted to sleep. When it was light, we got ready to go to our car. After dawn, after the arrival of the sun, that is, we have enough light, we were so interested that no one thought of sleeping. When it was light, we got ready, to go to our car. Please come again, he said. The old man said, please come again. Isn't making a living here difficult? Asked my father. Isn't making a living, you make a living. Make a cake, but at the same time in English, you make a living. We build up things, in life. You make your life. Nobody's making your life. You make your life. So that must be the reason why people say that making life is made. Isn't making a living here difficult? Father asked my father from that guy, old man. Yes. He says yes. He did not say no. He did not deny. He said yes, it was difficult. Wonderful. Why is that? Yes, but yes. Is that difficult? Yes. But this is my land and this is my life. This is my land and this is my life. And pointing to the chain, he said, he said, this is our heritage. Heritage. Urume. This is our heritage. Heritage is what you receive from, traditionally, what you receive from your great grandfathers and your people. Clear? From generation to generation. Maybe they can be of a language, they can be of a culture, they can be of songs or whatever, buildings you inherit. So he says that, yes, but this is my land and this is my life. And pointing to the chain, he said, this is our heritage. Traditionally, that is what we have. In fishing area, when you think about coastal area, people do fishing. And then the fathers, grandfathers, great grandfathers, and they give the profession, all these places, and the profession or the skills to their coming generations. Then they start fishing. Yeah, that is it. Yes, this is my land and this is my life. And pointing to the chain, he said, yeah, this is our heritage and we love it. We then thanked him for all his kindness. So we thanked him. Thank you very much. Thank you, uncle. Thank you, Sia. Then we thanked him for all his kindness and wished him goodbye. Wished him goodbye. Bye, Inanghing Enang, and so on. So this is the story. So there are very many stories, good number of stories here. So very beautiful stories. Those days we learned. I cannot remember the story, but this was the textbook that we used. But at that time, disgusted with life because of the English language. We did not like English those days. And so we cannot remember things. However, what is important is not the story, that what is written here. I'll send you a copy of this story in the form of a PDF with that, giving a link below. So what is interesting is, what you should listen to is what I say, not the book says. What book says is really important, but what I say is, my production of language is the most important thing to you. Therefore, you should listen to me, especially the places where I produce this language like this. This is spoken language, not pre-programmed. So what I say is what comes to my mind. That is it. That is spoken language. So if you want to improve spoken language, just be exposed to total English like this. I don't want to say that you should listen to me. There are very many good number of people in the world doing very good programs. So therefore, please go to that. Otherwise, you won't be able to speak within a very short period of time. If you want to speak within 1 year, within 2 years or so follow total immersion. So therefore, please go to total immersion. Bye. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and give us a like and comment and share. There are people, your friends, that trying to find sort of materials. So just send them. That is good for you and good for me. Bye.